Alright guys, on to game number 1. Oden versus the new menace on the scene from EB02, Green Purple Luffy. This, I would say, is probably one of our best matchups with Red Green Oden, seeing as we run a lot of 5 costs and we're able to rush them down with high attack. In this matchup, you're primarily wanting to see your new 6 cost Yamatos, and you're also wanting to see your 5 cost Izos. Those are going to be your 2 big things that will win you the matches here. This turn we were on 4 Dawn, so that's why I just used the Hiyori, play out that Izo so I can still be able to make my leader into a 6k this turn and get a 7k body on the field at the same time. That Izo's ability does come in clutch often. That's why she's one of the key cards of the deck. Being able to discard any card and turn it into a free 2k is huge. And it's even better in this matchup when they play their 6 cost Luffy, being able to just minus 2k it, because it's for the rest of this turn, not just for that attack. So here, they do have a Sanjin Pudding, they do have a Chopper Blocker, but we're just going to keep being aggressive here. We can't really let off the gas pedal, because if we do, then that just gives them enough time to be able to beat us on the crackback, and this is very much a race to the finish. So here, I'm just thinking, do I want to play that 4 cost Yamato to just tap down the blocker, and I could then swing my zero attack into their 0, be able to see if I can get it for free. But I decide, nah, I'd rather just still establish my board, be able to play out this 7 cost the 6 cost Yamato to be able to still make my leader into a 7k attack and be able to swing 3 7s. So here they give us a 2k, we're going 7 into 6 again, and just like that, on turn 3, we already have 2 7k bodies on the field, we're a 6k leader, and we already put our opponent down to 2 life. They are not in a good position at all. This is not the position that they want to be in, even though they do have 2 Sanjin Puddings here, because they know that they're going to have to start either fighting for board or they're going to have to rush us down faster, but we're going to be hitting for magic numbers real fast. So here they also play out the 3 cost Zoro Juro, which I do think is an amazing card in the Green Purple Luffy list because of their leader effect, but ultimately I think that this is just a tough matchup for them. Here, we're thinking, do we want to use leader effect? But I would rather not use it right now, because I can just discard one of my bricks in my hand, because if you don't know, Oden makes it so that way then all of your Wano cards in your hand, if they don't have any counter, they automatically count as having 1k counter. So any brick that we have, since we run a lot of them, aren't necessarily bricks. They're always going to be at least a 1k. Here, we were able to do a little search. We got another 6 cost Yamato, which is huge. We're at 7 Dawn. So I'm just thinking, how exactly do I want to do this? Because that 6 cost Yamato allows you to attach Arrested Dawn every single turn. So if you get multiple of them on the field, that's back-to-back 2 free Dawn after using them to already play something else. So here we just went 7, 7, 8. They're thinking real hard. They do use a Gum Giant here, discarding a Zoro Juro. So at that point, I'm like, okay, change of plans. We're just gonna do double blocker, and this should be able to get us to the point where they can't really do anything. Because if they go for board, we have 7k bodies, so they're going to have to attach Dawn to do something. Otherwise, we're just going to be able to win next turn, depending on what cards are in their hand. Here they do play that 6-cost Luffy, and then they use leader effect, able to restand 2 Dawn, and then they got 2 Dawn back because they have double Sanji Pudding, making their leader effect free. So here they just go with the Zorojuro 4 into 0, so they killed the Momonosuke. And right now I'm just thinking, all I need to be worried about is keeping my 7k bodies alive, because if I can keep my 7k bodies alive, there's a high chance that I can just go for game next turn. And here I'm just thinking, I'm like, do I want to use Izo's effect? And I decide to do it, but I do it on the 6-cost Luffy, which is very important, because if I didn't do on the 6-cost Luffy, there's a high chance that I wouldn't have been able to keep my board. So here they go 7k into 7 again, and I decide, okay, we will give them a 2k. They go 8 into 7, we give them another 2k. They go 7 into 7 again. This time we're going to give them the blocker. I kind of want to hold on to the 6-cost Yamato if I can, but as soon as I see that they swing with the 6-cost Luffy and use his effect, I'm like, okay, I'm able to keep my board this turn. All I gotta do is just give up my entire hand for it, and they're at 4 cards in hand, but no Dawn up, so they cannot Gum Gum Giant. Alright, game number 2 is against Yellow Kid. In this matchup, our best card by far, there is no contention with it, is the 5-cost Yamato that's in our hand. That is hands down the best card in this matchup. It's one of your best cards, if not the best card in the Teach matchup, and it's very good in other yellow decks and other black decks. Being able to have Banish and double attack means that your opponent has to use their resources to clear it. It's also the main reason why we are running the 8-cost Rosinante in our deck as well, because we do struggle against black so much that we need some way of having protection. Here, it's just swinging back and forth. We're thinking, do we want to counter out? We do just give them a 2k. I'm trying to find the right time. I'm at 5 Dawn right now, so I'm most likely just going to play the 5-cost Yamato. I could do the Hiyori into the green 5-cost Yamato instead of the 2k and still be able to make my leader 6k, but I don't want them to have ways of removing the green 5-cost Yamato before I can get at least one good swing with her. And I knew that they do play Nami and that they most likely had one, so my hunch paid off. Here they're going 6 into 6. I'm just thinking, do I take or do I give them counter? I do decide to give them counter, and we do get the 1-cost event, so I was able to get a free draw 2 while still establishing my green 5-cost Yamato. Here they go 2 into 0, getting rid of the Otama, and then they throw down a blocker. So that kind of signals to me that they are really worried about this 5-cost Yamato. And here, we took the first one, but we're definitely going to counter out of the second. They also play out another 2K and make it into a blocker. Right here, I'm just thinking a lot. I'm at 9 Dawn, so there's a couple different things that I could do here. So I start off with the Momonosuke, see what I can get off the top. I do get a blocker, but I won't be able to play blocker and play a 5 cost. So here we're just going to go attach to, go 8 into 5. Play out the Izo, and we're just going to not even swing with the 5 cost Yamato right now. He has too many blockers at that point, and I don't want to swing in and give him the face-up card on his life, because I knew that he would be able to just make another blocker for free. Here, we're just going to use Leader Effect. We're going to trash the... We're thinking either 4 cost Yamato or blocker, but we give up the 4 cost Yamato. Now they use their 8 cost Kid's little cycle effect. And we're just going to use one of our 2Ks, our Izo. We're also going to play out the... our blocker. And then we're going to swing 8 here. They do counter out. And then we're just going to go a little bit after their board, get rid of their blockers and everything. Keep that top card face up on their lives. That way then they have to play 7 cost Law if they want to be able to make one of their characters have blocker. They did get a captain, a cost Kid off the top of their life. Here we're gonna trash one of the 6 cost Yamatos to be able to blank out that attack. They're going to play another blocker, and then they also play the 4 cost Hawkins. But here we do have another Izo, so we can tap down their blocker. We're going to swing 9 this time. We get both cards. Then we swing 7. Then we're going to swing 5 here. That way then it gets a card out of their hand, and then we're going to swing 7 again. Game number 3. This time it's against Perona. She's one of my personal favorite decks, and as for the matchup, I do think that this is one of our harder matchups too. Our hardest matchups are always going to be black decks. There's nothing that we can really do about that. It's kind of the fatal flaw of green is the color black. Of course, they have released new cards to be able to make it much better of a matchup, but it's still very tough. So here, we have a couple different plays. We could play out both of our searchers and use the You Can Be My Samurai to draw 2. Or we could play out the 4 cost Yamato, be able to tap down their Rosinante and swing into it. And that is what I decide to do. So this can get punished if they have a Ryoma. They can just use the Leader Effect, tap down our Yamato, be able to KO it with the Ryoma, but that's one less Ryoma that we got to worry about later on if they do that. And this Rosinante is a blocker that I really just don't want to deal with, and this is the perfect opportunity to get rid of it. So they do tap down the Yamato, but they swing 6 into it first. So I just give them the Momo. And then they play out a Kuzan. So I do top deck the 4-cost Hiyori. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a search with the Otama first, see what I find. I do find another Izo, or I could grab the 5-cost. But I do grab the Izo instead, and then I play out the Hiyori. I use the You Can Be My Samurai, draw 2. I do still find a 5-cost, but I'm gonna just play out the other Izo so I can swing 6k and then be able to swing for 7. So I know that they have a Kuzan -4. So if they are running the more popular list right now of Perona, where they run like Brooks and stuff like that, then they can easily get rid of our 5-costs. And here we're just thinking, how do we want to do this? So we are going to use Izo's effect for this, since they did -4 its cost. Just so that way then we can get out of that attack. They do go and they KO our Otama. And they are at 5 Dawn. So they do play a Brook, they get rid of our Izo, and then they play out a Rocinante to have another blocker. So there's a couple different plays that I could do here. I could play out the 5-cost, but first I'm going to do a swing of 7. I wanna probe their hand a little bit, see if they're gonna give me the blocker right now, or if they're going to counter out. So they do just use blocker effect. So then at that point, we're just gonna play out the 5-cost, and then we're gonna swing 8 into their Kuzan. Again, we're just trying to see how much counter do they actually have in their hand. They do give up the Kuzan, so now all they have is a Brook left on their field that we have to worry about. So they do play the 9-cost Shanks right there, just getting rid of our Yamato, but that's completely fine by me. Because here we did top deck a Momonosuke, and we get a lot of wonderful options here. So that Izo is looking amazing, but so is the 5-cost Yamato. So we do get the Izo. I am reading the other's effect right now, so we decide to just put one of the Rested Dawn on him, because when he swings, he's going to restand 2. So they do 2k out. Here I'm going to swing for 8 again. They do take that one, and then we're just going to throw down a blocker. The other play that we could have done there is we could have just swung for 7 with lead, and then played out the Hiyori and used Hiyori's effect to play out the other 5-cost in our hand. That way then it kind of makes sure that we're guaranteed to at least have a 5-cost during our next turn.